Hey, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Good morning. Danny Shay in his bathrobe. It's getting hot again. So I woke up this morning and the sun was shining. I love that. Love it, love it, love it. Because normally we just get a lot of cloud cover, marine layer. And today it feels like it's going to be really hot. Kind of like the state of our country. Really hot. So let's do a little news recap. So first off, I'm on day, 3 or 4? So this is kind of like a hump day for me. If I can get through this, then I think I'm on the downhill slide. Because yesterday was kind of, I'm not doing so well in not thinking. I'm doing okay with not talking, but not thinking about former guy. So let's just make sure he's still in the box. So put him in the box, sent him to Fulton County. Fulton County said return to sender, and I go, I don't know why I'm getting it back. I'm not that sender. Let's see. You can hear him. He's still in there. All right. So a couple of things that happened. I mean, this was I was reading in my news feed. This is the first time that a former president has had a mugshot. And I'm thinking, well, we've had film for a long time, so probably who should have been on there? Well, certainly Nixon, probably Reagan, but he was slick. He was slippery, Mr. Reagan was. And so there was, I'm sure there's been some others, I'm sure. And I look at the world as we're in, and it's just so, I mean, we just can get lost in it. And I wanted to look at the questions I want to ask today are, what do we need to know to get through these times? The other one I wanted to look at was, should democracy survive? Will it survive? And should it survive? Easy, like questions. And then the last one I wanted to ask, and maybe I'm not going to read in this order, was what was the right questions to ask in that debate? The thing was, and maybe I'll start with that first. The thing was with the debate is they would let people spew these, I was going to say untruths, but I don't even want to reference that platform. But nobody asked them, well, where are you getting your information from? So that Ramsey, excuse me, Lodi, that Ramsey Way guy, I don't even want to learn how to pronounce his name. He's just a little punk. I mean, yeah, he's a billionaire punk, but still, I don't know. It just seems nobody's saying, well, how did you get this? And then they just start yelling. And it's like, okay, the louder you yell, is that the more right you are? I don't think so. So is there a cyclical nature to our planet warming as much as it has? Yeah, I would say yes. Is man contributing to it? Oh no. As I have my 7 Lamborghinis in the driveway, I have them all idling now. They're just idling. Because it doesn't matter. It's not us. you know, and for us not to even look at, and us, I'm not saying us, but I think I am saying us, but for us not to even look at the problem, and for us not to acknowledge how we are contributing to it, it's either ignorant or naive or we are on such the beginning of a learning stage. It's anyway. I get a little cray with this. So let's see. I want to ask. You know, so getting back to the debate questions. You know, and people are saying, well, who came out ahead? Well, number one, I don't really care who came out ahead. I'm not voting for any of them. So what difference does it make for me? Is it, you know, they said Nikki Haley came out. Now, I used to like Nikki Haley till I heard her. And isn't that wrong? But anyway, I mean, she took down the Confederate flag. I'm like, wow, good on you. Good on you. And then she just flipped into this, the cult. Oh, I almost lost it. Into the cult that is in the box. And so the other big question too. Let's start off with that question. What deck? I'm going to use my fountain deck because it's kind of harsh. It's ooh, 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 ooh. And this kind of goes along with it. The bottom of the deck is the Hierophant opening up a box of whoop ass on something. The question I was going to ask was, it's Friday, I forgot. Oh, no. Come on, Danny. Brain, work, function. What the heck? All right, I can't remember. I was so close. I was so close to having a good question. All right. Let's see if it'll come to me. It was all about the government. It was about, we were talking about Nikki Haley and, oh, it is the trials down in Fulton County, the cult. If it's the question is, because January 6th was televised, wow, am I just having fading moments or what? I mean, I could, if it was my computer glitching, I could say it was a Mercury retrograde, but it's popping this. Okay, focus. Is is our trial, is the Georgia trial being televised? Is that going to allow enough of the Republicans to be able to see their own on TV putting truth to what is apparently lies? I said apparently. Why? Because it's Mercury retrograde. Let's just leave it at that. Okay. I love the fact too, for those who don't follow the news, yay. I think it was Cheese Bro. When we go down to LA, there's a street and it's a big sign that says Cheese Bro, and I drive my wife nuts sometimes. Okay, all the time. Whenever we pass by that sign, I go, "Jeez, bro." I don't know who it's named after. It's not that guy. I should look into it. But I think he was saying, I think one of those guys, one of the 19, holy crap. He goes, "No, I want this done fast. I want a speedy trial." Fonnie Willis goes, "Okay, I'll do it at the end of October." What? Oh my God. I'm like, "Go, girl." If she could only hear me. Whew. All right. I thought it was so cool. Yeah, okay. October, end of October. Get ready. You want it speedy? You got it. Let's go. I've read on Fonnie Willis before. And I think the first time I read on her, I said, "Oh, you don't want to mess with her." Thank you, Fonnie Willis, for making me and my readings a little more correct. All right, let's look at this. Are the Republicans going to see the light of what that party was doing, the cult of the Republican Party was doing? When Georgia is televised, are they, and it's kind of a silly question because some will, some won't. But I think we're going to move some. And so the question is it going to be big enough to move the dial? And the problem that comes in with this thought is that, now you have to admit you're wrong. That's going to be hard. And so I go back to, how do we deal with these cult people? That's what I'm going to call them. These cult people who are coming away from the cult. How do we talk to them? How do we engage them? How do we bring them back into the community? Okay. If this is televised, will we have a big enough group come to their senses, see the light? And I say that, come to their senses and stuff, because I hear from my Republican hillbilly brother. Oh, he's in this here. And he's saying, "Hey, I got all my senses." And this ear goes, "No." Hillbilly says, "Yes." So anyway, you get what I'm saying. We have the Nine of Swords. Is enough of them going to see this? And it feels like they're just, what is this guy? He's worried at night, but in this deck, he's just hanging on. He sees all this, and it's all this hate and divisiveness coming at him or going away from him. I think about the debate stage, and I think about people talking about abortion. And my Republican hillbilly toothless brother, he is not for this. He's more of a hippie. He doesn't like the death penalty. He doesn't like abortion. And I mean, he's for the woman's right to choose. And so I'm thinking about this and I'm going, he's got people that talk to him that say, "I'm for the death penalty, but I don't want to give women the right to choose their own health care. And no matter what, they should, if they get impregnated, they should bring that child to term. And then I think about that and I go, well, who are the people that are most messed up in the prison system? And I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I think it's people who are not coming from a stable, loving relationship. And I go so far as to say from Mother Earth. I didn't say Mother Earth. I did say Mother Earth. From their mothers. And then I think, well, are we getting enough love and comfort from Mother Earth? Is that why we're so kind of lost? Is it? I don't know. Anyway, squirrel moment. Is there going to be enough that kind of shake this up, that shake up this thinking of this cult? And it's being challenged by, tower moment. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, I think I'm going to drop this down and y'all can see what I'm seeing. There we go. So, Nine of Swords, worry, holding on to things, followed by the tower moment. Are we going to be able to, are these Republican people that are hanging on to this cult of the old guy? Okay, wow. And I'm just gonna pull 6 on this. A little bit of what I read before yesterday was about the world, and we get the world up at the top. So we have 9 of Swords tower. We have the Ace of Swords, a new truth coming out at the base of the reading. At the foundation of all of this is their world is crumbling on top of them, and they're coming up with a new truth. The Magician in the past, that used to be one of my cards for the guy in the box. I almost said it, and I don't know. You guys get to, okay, squirrel. You guys get to tell me whether I've failed on my challenge of not reading on him and not talking about him, because it feels like I kind of am a little bit. Guy in the box, that's kind of, anyway, enough said. And for the people who are joining me today, I'm giving away a reading if I slip up. So that guy in the box, the Magician, was one of his cards. So the Magician is in the past. We have a new world order up at the top. And then we've got the Fountain card coming up in the potential near future. You may ask, Danny, what deck are you using? Well, I am using the Fountain deck. This card, to me, the way that I interpret it, I should go back and look at the book again, but see what they have to say about it. But this card here is all about rebirth, infinity, newness. But the way that I interpret it is you got to stay out of the edges. If you stay out of the edges, you may think you're on the right path over here. You may think, well, you're in the dark over here. But if we come together on this, we get to be in the center of the light. So is the Republican Party going to pay it? Is enough of the Republican Party going to come together and watch and see what's going on in Georgia because it's being televised? Yes. Yes. They will. Good. So let's take a look. One of the questions that I did want to ask, not of this deck because it does not want to. Ooh, the Emperor. We're building a new way. One of the questions that I wanted to ask, I'm going to pull up my notes here, was Um, should democracy, will democracy survive? But the question maybe before that should be, what do we need to know to get through these times? Because it feels like it's just crazy. So who are we going to ask? We're going to ask the Galactic Heritage cards. This deck, it's all about how other galactic life forms, planets, have survived their evolution, and what is it, what lessons have they learned that they may share with us, if they choose to share with us. There's a lot of us who are star seeds who have come down from angelic beings, if you choose to believe that. Ooh, my screen just flickered. If you choose to believe that, as well as, you know, then we can take it even further as well. Maybe some of us have Palladian DNA, Arcturian DNA, and maybe I need to have Dr. Gale on the show because I have a few more days to go. I'm going to ask her if she'll come on Monday. And so as we have this DNA in our cells, and if you look at, my wife is big on this. I'll have to clear it up. There's certain parts of us that the DNA is totally different in our bodies than other parts. She said mitochondria does not have a similar DNA to our body. I'll double check that and get back to you on that. Anyway, so what does the Galactic Heritage deck have to say about us in this time? I mean, do they have any advice for us? Do they have any, I mean, they've been through this. Certain planets, they've struggled through this whole thing. So let's see what they have. And I pulled these cards before so I could look at them, because I don't understand a lot of Lyran history. So I'm using the Galactic Heritage messages from the book a little bit, and what I get out of the cards, because they're kind of like Rorschach images, right? And so I pick up on certain things from just the images. And again, this, not that I make any money on this, but there is a $10 app that you can get these cards. And even though I don't like apps for throwing cards, I like the physical characteristics, this app is really, really good. And it has all the descriptions. It has the whole book laid out really easily for the cards. So you can just click on a card, flips over, gives you the definition and the description and stuff like that. All right, the question is, what does the galactic community, the Galactic Heritage deck, the galactic beings who are keeping an eye on us, what do they have to say to us at this time of divisiveness, of anger, of wherever you are in it? And I got 3 cards. The first card I got is community. And when and it says Association of Worlds Parallel. And when I looked at this Rorschach image, this to me looks like a birth canal. And maybe it was because I was just, oh, My screen's flickering. And maybe it's because I was just thinking about the death penalty and abortion and how these things, they don't mix. They don't match up. Anyway, it's community, association of worlds. I think we're in a new beginning stages of getting out of this divisiveness. And I think this association of worlds, this is the council. This is the Galactic Council that is coming together and is giving us, I did write some notes on this, is giving us the message that we need to have equality, balance, and loving service in our communities. So what this card is suggesting to us is those who are watching and those who pull it, me, is that either we need to be a part of this community of balance, equality, and loving service, or we need to start a community of balance, equality, loving service, and be a part of that that part of journey. And one of the things that it said in the book was that we are now just waking up to that fact. And it seems like that I'm watching my neighbor remodel his house, and he was just, I mean, delays, and his house is a mess, his backyard's a mess. He's got his kitchen, he made a kitchen in his garage. He looks homeless. Just everything's all spread out. His wife, it's driving her nuts. It's driving him nuts because he's kind of a guy that likes to put things in boxes and keep things all neat. And I talked to him the other day, hey, how's it going? He's going, they're putting up the sheetrock, drywall, and the stucco today and tomorrow. So I'm looking at the workers up there on the roof, and they stuccoed the chimney. And when I go back there and look at it, there's going to be walls. It's just not going to be exposed studs. There's going to be walls. There's going to be shape and color to this thing. And it happened really slowly and really quickly. In 2 days, it's going to have form and shape. And so even though it's all chaotic, like our politics right now, it could happen if we keep the right intention very fast. Community, association of worlds. We are giving birth to something new. We need to stay focused on what we want to create. The second card I got was Lyra, future self-observance. Oh, geez. So I did get the dark mirror out with this for clarification. It's not just them. It's us. We're part of it. We're part of the community that we are trying to build. And so we just can't point our finger and say it's them. What did we do to create this? What did we do? Now I'm going to pull 3 cards as the from the dark mirror deck. And as hard as it is to look at ourselves, well, that wasn't me, we do need to take a little break. I've been reviewing one of the Sandra Ingerman's Medicine of the Earth Part 2 sessions that she had recently, and talking a little bit about transfiguration and transformation. What do we need to let go of? Well, sometimes we need to look at ourselves to say, ooh, I need to let go of that. And last Sunday we talked about it. What happens if you don't want to let go of something? Well, it's the divine plan, is what I hear. So this self-observance, I'm going to pull 3 cards. You guys can pick a number. You already had it in your head, between 1 and 3. And maybe not, that will be something that you should focus on. Maybe it's all of them. Or maybe it's like, I'm turning this thing off. I'm not watching you anymore. I'm not looking at myself. We're not going to go too deep into this, I don't think. I won't cry for you. So this is number 1. This is, you did it yourself. I'm not helping. I'm not crying. I'm not doing anything. Self-observant. Is that you? You? What's the joke? Some kid goes to church and he poops in his pants and dad goes, well, now you're going to have to sit in your own pew. Something. Okay, sorry. Number 2 of self-observance. Anger in chains. Whoa. Well, who doesn't have anger and chains from the last, the last administration? God, so close. The last administration. And in this cycle of constant barragement of this yak in our head. Now I got him in the box, but he's still yakking in my head. It's anger in chains. So we got to look at that. Okay, we need to let go of the anger, number 1, because if we're trying to move towards a community of love and peace and harmony, you can't hang on to that anger, because where does that fit into the law of 1? I don't think it does. All right, and the number 3, today for tomorrow. What are you doing today that is going to deal with tomorrow? What do you need to let go of today for tomorrow? What do you need to hang on to today for tomorrow? This card is a little, this card is a little, how do I want to say, soft to me. This one's hard, anger and chains. I won't cry for you. It's like, whatever. My favorite word. Oh, when somebody says that to me, whatever. I'm like, oh. My niece used to say that to me. Drive me nuts, just dismissive. Ah. And then I flipped into this, anger and chains. I wrapped her in chains. Better than beating her with chains. Why do I do that? Today for tomorrow. So it's a little soft. It's a little like, I'm not quite sure what this is saying yet. Okay, but maybe you guys get it. Maybe you guys get it clearer. So we are on self-observance. What do we need to look at with ourselves? The 3rd card I got is complete surrender. What do we need to know during this time, this place, in our history of the planet? That we have an association of worlds that is letting us know, that is watching out for us, that is saying, it's going to be okay. You are just starting your community of love, inclusion, and equality. You're just beginning that. You are birthing a new community. The step for that, so trust in that divine plan, the step in that is you need to look at yourself a little bit. How are you not adding to this community that the association of worlds requires? You can't have hate and war and divisiveness in that community. And it's parallel down here. It says parallel. So when I think of the worlds, when I think of the time streams of where we're going, there are parallel time streams that we go down. And we can, when we choose to, slip into another time stream and be aware of that. And we do that through meditation, we do that through journeying, and we allow our imaginations to be free of all the encumbrances of what we've been told in the past, which is this today for tomorrow and this anger in chains. We are free from that, and we get to look into another parallel time stream when we are part of the association of worlds, where we are part of that community. But it's in a different parallel time stream than what we are in right now. This is the time stream we chose to be in, to heal, to be part of. And it comes to it that this complete surrender card is, we are waking up to the fact that fighting, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. I'm going to force you into my beliefs. I'm going to show you, come on, you're wrong, I'm right. Well, there's a, that's soft. There's something that we can get from both of these. I'm not quite sure what it is with the Republican Party these days when we think of that, nor the authoritarian rulers who are just trying to line their pockets with more money, more money, more money, and control people. It's complete surrender. And it's those guys that probably will have the biggest lesson of complete surrender. For me to have complete surrender, it's pretty easy, right? I don't have that much control over a lot of stuff. These, like Putin and I almost said his name again, and I'm thinking the guy in Syria. So much control. They need all that. That's going to be really hard. And I can guarantee you that I have more control issues than I would like to let on. All right, what's the second question? I think I'm done. I was going to have the third question, which is, what is the right questions for the debate? And, you know, you just got to dig in a little bit more. And I'll take that further to us. What is the right questions for us? Friday, I did it. I think you let me know, those of you who are still watching. So I have Saturday. I normally don't read politics on Saturday, and I'm not going to do it. Sunday is Sunday with Spirit. No politics zone, so I've got 2 days where I'm good. And what else? Oh, peace and love.